Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, bugger. I'm buggered this up. And welcome to the show. Today, a quick episode of Gentry in a Jiffy. If you're not familiar with this particular series, it's where I answer some frequently asked questions. Usually I'm on a couch, but here, or sofa, if you prefer sofa. Fortunately, the sofa here in the new war room has a big window behind it, and the lighting is terrible. I will come up with some kind of alternative, so I apologize if we haven't done Gentry in a Jiffy in a while. But anyway, yeah, so I got so many emails about this. And by the way, if you want to email in a question, either leave it down in the comments, or you can email in theurbangentry@gmail.com, all one word. I'll leave it right there. There you go. Nice, huh? So what are we talking about today? Well, finally, there's a replacement for the much beloved SKX, my favorite dive watch. My favorite watch is the Explorer by Rolex. My favorite chronograph is the Navitimer, but my favorite diver is the Seiko SKX. Before I forget, very quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Dan Henry 1964, a fun, affordable, stylish, classy. What more could you want for a couple of $100? This is an official statement on the Seiko website. It was published, when was this published? It's press release 2019, the 6th of August, which is just not long ago. Now, before we get into it, I will be joined by Hugo. Hugo will be giving his reaction too. So let's just quickly see if he's there. We'll see if he's in the studio. I'm the self-inflicted mind detonator. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I'm the one infected, twisted animator.
So Hugo, can you hear me?
I'm the fire starter, twisted fire starter.
We'll come back to him towards the end of the episode. So let's have a look at the Seiko website. They've done a very clever thing. They've moved it to the Seiko 5 family, which is a historic line. Originally, the Seiko 5 started in 1963, then they released in 1968 the sports versions, which with more, diver and some aviation style pieces as well. They were built on the 5 principles. They had to have an automatic movement. They had to have a day-date complication at the 3 o'clock, a recessed crown traditionally at the 4, although that was kind of abandoned in later years. They had to be water resistant. And what was the last thing? Oh yeah, and they had to have a bracelet built for durability. They wanted something affordable to inspire a new generation. And this is the pre-quartz era, of course, before Seiko changed the world in that regard. It was designed to inspire a new generation into traditional mechanical watches. They've split this new release into 5 subcategories with 27 versions in total. So they have the sports version, which of course is very traditional. This is unmistakably SKX in aesthetic. Then they have the suits version, which is a more vintage inspired with a faux patinaed loom on a mesh bracelet for more formal. They have a specialist versions, and then they have a street version, which you'll see there's an unmistakable resemblance to my little modded one here. But this is done in the military style with the Cerakoting and everything. It's funny how they've adopted that as kind of street, for young people, but it's still very smart. And then the Sense version. So these are a little bit more kind of exotic looking. And they have an image here of a DJ, so they're trying to, again, speak to a younger audience. There's evidence to say that it's not an SKX replacement. Seiko are notoriously secretive. They're a bit like Rolex in that way. Until they've made a press release, nobody really knows what they're doing. I know watch dealers that have been certified Seiko dealers for decades, and they don't even get told what's coming down the pipeline. So the only true way is to react to their press releases here. Now, the evidence that suggests it is a replacement for the SKX is that case. They've stuck with the SKX case at 42 millimeters. I think it's a clever, smart move. It is large, but the SKX case has always, because of its short lugs, been very compatible to the smaller wrist as well. I've owned the 007 and the 009, worn them happily with my skinny little wrists. They have thankfully upgraded the movement to the 4R36, which basically is a derivative of the 7S26 in the SKX, but with the hacking and manual wind upgrades. Long overdue. This is a logical and quite predictable step for Seiko. Seiko, if you look at the history of their watches, they always do this. They'll move the movements that were in the mid-range to the entry level and the high range down to the mids, and it works like that. So this was inevitable. So this is 24 dual movement, 41-hour power reserve, operating at the same speed, 21,600 vibrations an hour. So you get the magic lever system, everything you got in the 7S26, just with those added refinements. Day date, obviously. Moving this new watch to the Seiko 5 line, that was unexpected. We still get hard legs, of course, at this price point. They're going to be priced at about $285. That's the retail price. I suspect much less when they actually hit the online stores. Expected date is September 10th. So the layout, the shape, the scale is SKX. However, what's changed? It's not, and this is what is leading some to believe it's not a replacement, and that is the fact that it no longer meets the ISO 6425 qualification of very specific things, shock resistance, anti-magnetic resistance, depth rating. Obviously it's no longer 200 meters, so it's not a professional, or not considered a professional diver anymore. It's a dive style. But if you think about it, with the recent releases in the last couple of years of watches like the Samurai and the more kind of mid-range Seiko divers, people are looking at them as the true, and the Turtle is another one, as true replacements of the SKX. This is SKX in aesthetic, not in performance. You're also going to be able to mod these just like the SKX, so that is exciting. As for the quality, I can't judge. You know me, I can't judge a watch until I have it in my hand, but if it's anything like most Seiko 5s, the quality is going to be sufficient and worthy relative to that price point. So let's look at the lineup. If we go to the main Seiko page, the sports ones are very SKX. The new SRPD 53K1 is unmistakably the 009 replacement. The SRPD 55K1 is very 007-ish. They've even gone to the trouble of replacing the most underrated SKX, and that's the 011, or the Clockwork Orange, with the SRPD 59 K1. They've even got green ones, they got stealthed out black ones, different bezel inserts. The Sense ones are very interesting. They're a little bit more kind of eccentric. They look like, actually, they look like modding projects of SKXs, to be honest. And actually that makes a good point. That is what essentially they're doing, and it's clever. And by offering so much variety, detractors can say, oh, it's just a big cash grab. But I actually think it's well, it is. I mean, they got to make a profit. They got to make a profit. But at the same time, a clever move. It shows and demonstrates the marketing genius that is Seiko. They're speaking to young people. They're making them more exciting, more interesting, more variety, more choice to choose from, with a rock solid movement. Something that is going to pop up in the comments is, oh, it should have had sapphire. I think Hardlex is absolutely fine. It's certainly tougher than your typical mineral. It is proprietary to Seiko and enables them to make it available more affordably. Oh, hold on. Okay, we're being joined by Hugo. Hugo, is there Seiko? We've got a live feed coming in from Hugo. Can you hear me? Hugo, what are your thoughts on the new replacement for the SKX by Seiko?
They're all in steel. Surely they have a gold one for me.
Very constructive. That was a complete waste of time. Oh well, let's carry on. My biggest criticism, well, I think it would have been nice to see a version for the smaller wrist as well, a replacement of the SKX 013. In conclusion, it's a smart move, it's exciting, a little bit overwhelmed by the choice. I have a lot of reviewing to do. I am definitely going to cover it. I adore the new Seiko 5. It's this kind of very cool S. It implies movement, which I really like. And it also mimics the shape of the shield, the traditional Seiko 5 shield. So it links back to its own history. I think a lot more watch companies can take a leaf out of Seiko's book, because this is how you get a new audience. This is how you get new people into watches, by offering something with a lot of choice, affordable, fun, and it's a clever move, including it in a heritage line of watches. I mean, look, the original SKX came out, what, in the early 90s? Was it 1991 or 93? I can't, or was it 1996? You're building upon a foundation that's already established. Wonderful. Which one grabbed me the most? I have to say, I really like the SRBD 65. Presuming it's PVD or DLC, it's not going to be Cerakoting, that costs a fortune. But yeah, obviously I like that aesthetic. What else? The SRPD 61 is very hulkish. It's gorgeous, so I'm very, very excited. Do I actually feel it's the replacement? I do. If you look at the range of divers, if you want a dive watch, if you want a professional dive watch, you go to the Prospects line. I think that's what Seiko are doing. If you want a dive style SKX, you know, everyday kind of watch with a day-date complication, you know, 100 meters water resistance, it's fine. The Seiko 5 is a smart move, really smart move. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Do you think this is the legitimate heir to the throne of the SKX? Or do you think it's a big mistake? Or do you think the real SKX is still yet to come? Definitely going to be picking one up, either for myself and to review. So stay tuned. So thank you very, very much for watching. Please don't forget to add your thoughts, queries, comments, opinions, all the rest of it down below. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Okay, guys, ciao.
Now, before I go, guys, I just want to quickly tell you about this extremely cool app that Watchbox have launched. This is my own personal go-to app for everything watch related. Using the app, you can keep track of the real-time value of your watch collection. You can store watches in your digital watch box and even try on watches using an augmented reality. So don't miss out, and please go to the App Store and download it today. You can access all of my latest videos right there in the app itself. And if you haven't already, please follow me on the official Urban Gentry Instagram and of course the Facebook UGWC. But most importantly of all, keep it positive, onwards and upwards.